please.
Thoughts on today, on the game?
I mean, I thought they had fun. You know, I think that's an important thing. I thought hopefully they learned a good lesson that one team was down. I can't remember who's cheering who's white at this point, but the one team was down 21-0, and then the other team came back, which I think is important for us to understand that we're going to have to play like that. You know, we're going to have to sometimes be down and come back, and sometimes be up and have to fight our way back. But you know, I thought some of our positions were really young, and sometimes you only learn by making mistakes. And I'm happy to see some guys make mistakes and rebound and come back and play. You know, happy to see Connor throw a pick and have to deal with the death stare and all that, and then come back out there and make a big play. Just happy to see Chris Coyer make some plays. So I thought we saw a lot of young players do some good things. It's always easier for me to see the offense first. I have to really watch the film for the defense. Defensively, I think Sean Daniels and some guys later, Avery Robinson, who's a freshman, really pressured the quarterback. And that's how you play defense. You start there, stop the run, pressure the quarterback. So that was a good day.
Overall, what about, you said Connor, you was happy to see him make a pick and come back, but his overall performance?
Well, I mean, he came out really hot. He made some big plays. He left some on the table. You know, we had a stunner go that one of the guest coaches, I think Harry Mays, called it, and should have been a 95-yard touchdown, and he missed it. So he's got to make all of those plays. But I thought for the most part he got us in the right play, and he checked us out of some blitzes. And I think what you see is our team kind of when he's out there rallying around him and believe he's going to make a play. Our receivers, I think every running back ran the ball. I think every receiver caught the ball. Maybe one did. So, you know, I have to watch the film to see why he threw the pick. You know, you're going to throw picks, especially if you're going to throw the ball. You're going to throw, we all, you know, that's the one thing as a coach, you have to get it through your head. I remember watching a couple years ago, Brian Kelly, at the end of the game, threw a pick. I said, that's the way we play. That's the way we're going to play. We are going to put the ball in the air, and we're going to run the ball, too. We threw it more today than we will. I'm still trying in that phase. We're going to run the ball more. I kept telling the running backs, relax. You know, we're going to run the ball, too. But we're going to be aggressive. When you're aggressive, you're going to make mistakes. They just have to be the right kind of mistakes. They have to be a tip ball. You know, it can't be a selfish play. It can't be, I think he's open, but I want to try to throw it deeper. And I didn't really see that very much. So you're going to live with those. The defense will rally around you, and you'll go continue to play.
What about Juice?
You know, he was behind. He was behind a little bit more duress and pass rush at times. I thought he had a couple really good drives where he got us going and operated. He did a really nice job at times moving around the pocket. Probably took one or two sacks and had some throws he left out there. But he was under more pressure than Connor was. And I think that's important to note. He didn't have Sean Daniels. I mean, Sean Daniels is a pass rusher. So, but I thought Juice did really well. I'll have a better feel when I watch the film. But they're both right there. They'll keep going through camp.
What do you think about Chris?
Coyer, I think he's a weapon. You know, Evan Rodriguez was downstairs. I think that's who he's going to be. I mean, I think he carried the ball once at quarterback. You know, we ran a reverse when he was going to throw it. He caught the ball, you know, and not like some gimme pass. You know, he threw it to me. He caught the ball down the field. You know, caught the ball on a deep over. So I think he's a weapon.
And in short turnaround time too, it looked like he was lining up in the right spot.
Yeah, he's smart. You know, the thing I'll say about him is you know, you're in the middle of a quarterback battle going into your senior year, and you know, a lot of guys have thoughts of, okay, do I transfer? Do I do this? You know, he was still in the mix, but he never. I said, you know, well, what do you want to do? You want to treat him? No, he's a Temple guy. So I mean, that's important to know. He's a captain type of a guy. The team. What happens when you have that? If Connor can come through and if Chris can come through, now you have two really good players and two guys that the players believe in. And I think the thing you see about Chris is when he scores, is our defense even celebrates with him because they recognize this guy was a bowl game MVP 2 years ago, and he's over there doing that. So that's how I think you have a chance to have a good team.
I think the number we had unofficially for Connor was 39 passes. How indicative is it all is that? How many times you're going to throw the ball?
I don't know. That's probably, you know, I think at the end of the day, if I played 70 plays, I'd like to be 35 and 35 legitimately. Because in a real football game, when you get, you know, hopefully you're winning the game, you love, if you're a good team, you love to see your last 10 plays of the game be runs. You know, that's when, you know, you pound it and you put the game away, and that's where you wear them out. So you get the ball going around early, and then you run the ball to finish it. But we're pass heavy right now. And because I want to see what they can do with the lights on. It's one thing to go out there in 7-on-7 and complete balls. It's a whole other thing with the pass rush and they're live. I mean, Connor hasn't played in a long time. Juice has 2 starts at Temple. So I need to see what they can do with pass rush. And, you know, we all saw that today. They're getting hit now, you know, and that's not usually in spring some places.
How well are the other guys, like the running backs and the receivers, responding to this shift in offense? You're throwing the ball just a lot more.
I think the receivers have bought completely in. You know, even guys like, you know, Ramon DeLoach. I mean, you watch Khalif Urban, and he's taking 5-yard passes. He's running with it down the sidelines. The thing about buying into throwing the ball for receivers is they have to buy into the fact that we're going to run. Like, I don't care if your legs are tired. We're going to run. Like, you have to practice it. And so they've been great all spring in practice. They really have. They've had great attitudes. They're catching the ball more and more. Now we turn the ball over into their hands this summer. They have to figure it out. And then running back wise, Kenny Harper's a pro. He knows all the protections, makes this right. Kenny Harper does things right now at tailback that we struggle with the rookies. The way the rookie at the Giants couldn't do. Kenny Harper can change the protection and see that they don't blitz and come back. He's tremendous. He really is. He's tremendous. One of the smartest guys I've been around in my time here. So we just have to see what they can do carrying the ball, in crunch time.
You say Chris is smart and he's a weapon. Do you think he's a legitimate pass catching threat or caught 2 touchdowns?
Do I think he is? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put him out there if I didn't. I don't do anyone favors. You know what I mean? Like, I put him out there because I think anytime you've got it around 230, you like to think that if he can catch and get open, then he adds the dynamic of big people have to tackle him. And that's really what we're kind of looking at. As the game wears on, people get tired of tackling a 230-pound guy. So he can run, he can catch. Running routes and being a pass catcher is athleticism, but it's also intelligence, and he has both. So.
But he threw 3 sacks today. He's yet to play a college football league yet. Did you think he'd be? I know he's got to do it when September comes around, but did you think he'd make this much of an impact this year?
Avery's he really does have a ways to go yet, and he knows that. I mean, he's not going to be a freshman in the fall. The biggest thing with him is he's 265 pounds, so he has to grow, and he will grow. He'll eat and get stronger and all that. But he's got a motor just like his brother did, and that's what you're looking for is a motor and some athleticism. I always try to gauge when I look at the stats. I always try to when I go back and watch film who everything happened against, because I think you have to really take if you compare 2 guys. It's not like a regular college football game. It's a spring game, so one guy might be doing it against A, and one guy might be doing it against B. But the thing I see where I'm standing is Avery plays really hard, has a motor, is going to be a really good player.
What do you see overall just kind of rolling around for advantage point, letting some of the other guys do the coaching? I mean, just what about just the pace? Anybody else jump out at you? Things like that.
Well, I think the biggest thing I saw was that they were having fun and playing with juice, and that's what you want. That's what we want. We want to play with energy. We want to play as hard as possible. I don't want to be a silly team, but I want to be a team that sees an opportunity to attack and goes and attacks. So I thought I saw that. Thought I saw some young kids. Nate Smith on defense at free safety. Had some big hits. We are really young at safety, frighteningly young. And we basically started 2 freshmen out there today. Pretlow, who's going to be a freshman in the fall, and Nate Smith, and get some other guys. And so to see those guys be physical. But, everyone's had different moments. I thought they flew around and were anxious to play. And again, Sean Davis, I think, has a chance to be a really good passer, so I can't say that enough. I hope he can be.
How did Cody do?
Cody Booth? Yeah, offensive line's tough. I have to kind of watch the film. I thought he probably did okay. He might have gotten beat late. And I don't know that I could even answer that one really well, to be quite honest. Nothing glared out at me, and because they were playing both ways. Sometimes they're playing for both teams. So, but I think he's done really well this spring. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be able to do it and make the weight. He's up at 78 now, so I think he's going to bring that to the table. Athleticism and then have the size.
You had 2 missed field goals and 1 missed PAT touchback. You only had 1 of those that kick off. Is that a concern for you to replace the
Yeah, Brandon was a tremendous kicker, and so kicking and punting, even the punting situation, seeing Paul out there, he's punting on air, so he hit a booming one. Tyler had a couple, but I think we'll have the full group of guys in the fall. You'll have the guys that are here now, plus probably 2 more, and we'll have to battle out in the fall. But that's absolutely a concern, as is who's going to snap for us. Booth has done it. Parthamore's done it in the past. He's hurt. Sean Boyle's hurt. So there's some guys there in the special teams department in that battery of snap, hold, kick, punt, that we have to kind of fight it out through the fall. But Brandon's going to be a hard guy to replace. Everyone's kind of gotten pretty used to him, over the last couple of years.
Will Connor still hold? He's the starting quarterback.
Yeah, he could. I prefer not to, but at the end of the day, I think you'll always do what the kicker wants. Like when Adam was here, Adam held for us, Adam DeMike, when he was our starting quarterback. So you prefer to be someone else, only for the reason that they can get extra reps during practice of snap, hold, they can work on it all the time. But if he's the best, he'll do it. I want the kickers to be confident who's holding for them. So. Yeah, Nate Smith's had a really good spring. We love Nate, but Nate was late yesterday, so That's the second time being late. So this is a privilege. It's a privilege to play football in front of the other students. So we had 2 guys miss the first half. We had 1 guy miss the game. None for anything bad, just for if you have homework assignments, you hand them in. If you have class, you go to it. If you have breakfast, you make it. If we have meetings, you're there.
How was he respond? Is he still have ways to go? I mean, he had a great year last year, but you know, you're always going to be harder on the guys that they're really good. I mean, is he still have ways to go with disciplining himself?
I don't think I don't even say disciplining. You know, I would just say that it's. I'm just trying to change some of their guys' mindset. Like, it's not how many tackles you make, because unless you was 80-0, someone makes the tackle. It's how well you play on defense. Don't tell me who the leading tackler is on a 4-7 team. I don't care. You know what I mean? Don't tell. You talk sacks, that's different. But tackles, I mean, somebody's got to make the tackle, right? Tell me where the tackles are made. Don't worry about the tackles. Worry about the plays. How many plays did you make? And I've challenged those guys. I've been really hard on Tyler. I apologized to his mom this morning. I was like, Matty Kevin, I just, you know, I've been really hard on Tyler. But he's you know, he's had some hard days. We didn't understand why. But he's bought in. You know, he's bought in. He's okay. And I think you see it today. He's making some plays, and he's going to be a good one. Other guys have bought into it. So I think Nate's bought into it. I don't think it's, you know, at the end of the day, you have to have a program where if you make a mistake, there's consequences, you know. Make repetitive mistakes, there's repetitive consequences.
How are you guys helped by this? I know you had some guys banged up. Where are you guys helped by
Oh,
this?
we probably have a bunch of guys out right now. That was, like I said, when the offensive line has 8 or 9 guys for the whole scrimmage, and they're man enough to go out there. I mean, I don't know how many plays that was, but that's probably the most we've had since I've been here. Tried to play a full game until the 4th quarter. So they played a lot of plays today. But, you know, we got a bunch of guys out, you know, guys who played a lot of football for us, which no one's hurt for the long term. So it's a great opportunity to see guys that are freshmen and sophomores and kids that walked on. They all got a chance to play this whole spring.
Is this the most former players you've seen come back for this game? There were just a ton of them around. I don't know how many, but they were just. It seemed like everybody came back for this game. Is that guys coming to you and saying you want to come back, and you inviting them back, or a little bit of both?
I don't think it's about me. I think it's just about Temple and Temple football, and you know, I think it's just about this building too. I mean, you know, I didn't build this building. You know, athletic administration, Bill Bradshaw, you know, his team built this building. The university built this building. Donors built this building. And guys want to come back and be in this building. You know what I mean? Guys want to. I mean, look at the back. You know, guys, for all the former players, they want to come back and see their pictures on the wall. You know, so I think there's real pride in the program from guys from all eras. You know, from guys that played. You know, Coach Macris, Coach Hardin, Coach Arians, Coach Dickerson, Coach Byrne. You know, Coach Golden. So I just think it's that. And you know, they're just like you guys. They want to see Temple do well. So.
More questions? Thanks, man.
All right, guys. Thank you.